the news of the week. It dropped yesterday. Actually, I'm going to give you some credit. You text me, and then I text Cooley and the boys, and we broke the news to those guys about TNT, the new TV deal, and then Bob McKenzie tweeted it after me and you had said something. So a little feather in our own cap, but 7-year deal. Do we know the number of it?
We got the numbers, yeah.
Yeah, just talk about it.
Big boy numbers. I'm talking. This isn't bananas. This is bajillion. This is what you call just TNT stepping up to the plate, and unfortunately, NBC just kind of not really having a seat at the table. I don't think financially they did, but a lot of credit to them. They did a lot over the last 7-8 years for our game. So shout out to NBC for that. But ABC, ESPN, and Turner. I mean, it's a $1.57 billion deal, Obes. It's a big boy, and 625 bananas a year is what the NHL is going to be pulling in from these two companies. So they stepped up. A lot of positivity around the news. You look at Turner; they're big boys now. They got NHL, NBA, NBA. They do the golf's the match. They got NCAA tournament. I mean, how do you compete with that? They're the big boys on the block now.
Yeah, Uppy, they are the big boys right now. And having TNT, I think this is going to be the first time the NHL is going to be broadcasted on TNT. And that is just huge for the game and the branding of these players. Because, like you said, make hockey great again. And TNT has been doing that with the NBA.
Cool again.
Make hockey cool again. He's not actually Donald Trump.
I am not the bumper Trump.
As much as he loves the bumper, he's not the bumper.
I got better hair than the Trump bumper and a better golf swing.
100% you do. But like I said, though, but them being able to brand it, they've done a hell of a job with the NBA. And I think it's going to be awesome for these players to get a chance to experience and be able to be themselves, because TNT is all about that. And this is huge for hockey moving forward.
100%. I don't like to give these two guys fucking much credit, probably because of the fucking 2 lockouts I was involved in. But Gary Bettman and Bill Daly, good on you. This is unbelievable. Listen up. I don't watch as many hoops anymore for different reasons, but I always watch Inside the NBA with Chuck, Kenny the Jet, and Shaq. And first of all, Barkley's a huge hockey fan. So if I'm the first thing I'm doing, I'm getting Barkley involved as much as I can, right? He loves hockey. He talks about it during the Inside the NBA. Get Barkley involved. And I don't want to compare. I'm not saying we're going to be able to come out of the gates and be an Emmy Award winning Inside the NBA, but this is great. You get an Inside the NHL. You want to get superstars. If Chelly wants to do it, whoever you do, you get guys that are character guys that are going to make people watch this show, not because of hockey. Hockey's hockey, Uppy. These guys, it's fast. They're competing. There's lots of parity in the league, but Uppy, we need guys that can sit down there, talk hockey, talk shop. Uppy, NBC did a great job, but I don't need Patrick Sharp, even though he's got a great fucking jawline and sick hair, breaking down the period. I watched the fucking period. It was boring. We need guys that go on there in between intermission, pre and post Uppy, that can talk about hockey and wrap lifestyle into it. And this is the opportunity.
I agree with you 100%, Obes, but it's up to these guys, these Chelioses, the Roenics, whoever you want. If fucking Gretzky wants to come in there and, throw it around once a week, or you want to create that panel, but it's up to the older guys who realize, like, hey, I got to watch hockey again, and I also got to kind of give a little bit. I got to give a little bit to the fans. I got to give them a little insight, and I got to open up. I mean, you're great at it. I enjoy it, but we got to see if they want fucking 2 white guys on there, and Jimmy. Yeah. But we got to see, like, are these guys going to step up and really, dive back into the game for the game? Because if they do, it's great, and it's great TV. And I think you have, Charles, Shaq, Jalen Rose, all these guys jump in and do their own shows on TV and create that buzz for their game. And they can talk about anything. But we just need those guys in the NHL, those older guys or the guys that are fresh out of it, to say, like, hey, let us vibe with the reins here. Like, give us the fucking horse for a bit, and let's see what we can do.
Absolutely. And Hazy, before we get your follow-up thoughts on it, it's 72 regular season matches with the Winter Classic. So they're going to get lots of coverage. I guess, Hazy, just your thoughts on, do we need superstars? Do we need guys? For me, listen, the NBA's lucky. Fucking Barkley, Shaq, and Kenny the Jet are all fucking superstar Hall of Famers.
Superstars.
Now, if that works out, do I want the job to be sitting with YouTube beauties? Absolutely. But I want this for hockey in the USA. This is our opportunity. We got ESPN, TNT. We need guys Broadway, men or women. women hockey players as well, with character that are going to say what they fucking mean and don't just give me the vanilla. All right? I want some fucking Rocky Road or whatever your favorite thing is. We need guys to spice it up Broadway, and this is our chance.
Yeah, we need personality. It just helps that the NBA, like you said, is they got the big personalities with the superstars. And I truly believe that a lot of the superstars in the NHL all have these personalities, and you're starting to see personalities come out more. But I feel like they've been so cookie cutter because it's like the old school NHL mindset. And these, I think these Hall of Famers and the young superstars are done playing. If they can bring their personality, talk hockey, and then talk lifestyle, that's just going to be huge, because you're going to get not like your everyday NHL fan that's going to follow it because they want to listen to these guys. If they're funny and know what they're talking about, that makes for great television.
Absolutely. And I'll be, let's put our players' hats back on. If you're a player right now and you see this, right? Think about Upshaw. I mean, you're still
Incorporated.
Just think about Upshaw back in the day signing that 4-year ticket with the Panthers. But now you got ESPN in your back pocket. You know games are going to be on TNT. From a player's perspective, the marketing ability, right? If you're Austin Matthews, although he plays in Canada, but whoever, this is your opportunity to fucking make some dough off the ice and make this game, you know, a lot cooler, like you said.
Yeah,
it's
you're
the guys
right.
in Florida, I think, that like the guys in those smaller markets that can capitalize on this opportunity.
Yeah, and you look at Austin Matthews. Look at the deal he signed. He signed a 5-year deal. He didn't sign the 8-year ticket and get stuck in Canada forever. There's going to be so much upside for him being the best young American hockey player to come in and take a massive payday with the Rangers or the Kings or someone. They're going to step up and be like, hey, we got ESPN in our back pocket. We'll make you the coolest NHLer in the United States ever to walk around.
Yeah.
Right. And then how do you turn that down? I think that's a great deal by his agent to realize, you know, I loved, and just, this is totally off topic now, but I don't like these young guys getting stuck on these teams for 8 years. Like, especially if you're an American kid. And I don't know if that played into, you know, Austin Matthews' decision when he went to Toronto and signed that deal. But, you know, he's coming 2 more years and he's, you know, walking that red carpet down here in MSG or wherever. But
yeah,
you know, a lot of upside for a young player now.
I think
the Gretzky effect.
I think I'll be you 100%. I think that has to play in it. I think he was dealing with some pressure in Toronto where they weren't having playoff success. He's an American-born player. But Broadway, let's talk about your brother, for example. I mean, a guy plays in Philadelphia. I'm sure you probably haven't talked to him yet about it, but he's got to be fucking stoked for ESPN and TNT to be involved. Like, those are 2 legit networks.
Yeah, and I've actually talked to him a little bit about it, and we discussed about like the Brandon aspect and that we keep mentioning, but we got to kind of put a little bit on the players. The players need to step out of the shells, but I think, like we mentioned, getting these 2 major TV deals with ESPN and TNT where they let athletes be themselves and they run all these types of shows, there's just so much opportunity for players. And I think this benefits a lot of the American players because the Canadian superstars, they're already big-time superstars because of the markets they play in. So I just can't wait to see where this can go with these smaller markets, as I mentioned before.
And go ahead, Ups.
I was going to say, you touched on Philly.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of back and forth and, you know, a lot of things that were said back when Bettman did the NBC deal 8 years ago or 7 years ago with how it went down in Philadelphia with like an under the rugs sort of deal with NBC Sports, right?
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Flyers are owned by Comcast, who are, you know, a parent company of NBC Universal or whatever the case may be. The Philadelphia Flyers right now being owned by still Comcast, and we're going to get into that eventually one day because they are not the Philadelphia Flyers of the past, a tradition that I think is ruined, and we're going to touch on that.
Yeah.
But, you know, they can't be, there's some ownership right now in Philly that's probably like, shit, you know, we don't have control of, you know, we don't have a seat at the board anymore. This is, you know, they're moving on. ESPN's a big boy. Turner's a big boy. I'm just excited to see where this can go, but it just kind of touched on it that I was like, you know what, Comcast, they had their foot in the door. They had a seat at the table, and now they don't.
Yeah, it's a great point. I'm excited for the players. I'm excited for ex guys that do what we're doing now. I think it's going to open opportunities for both guys. You said to NBC, no disrespect, Pierre Maguire, all those guys, Jonesy, Mike Milbury back in the day, they worked hard. Sharpie, they did a good job. I think it's time for a change. And I will say this to the on-ice product. Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Austin Matthews, primetime games. If Edmonton has to play a Saturday afternoon game, fuck it, sorry, Hockey Night in Canada. Connor McDavid and these guys, they need to be seen primetime, Saturday afternoon, or whenever the fucking primetimes are. show the talent in this league because there's tons of it. So Bill Daly, Gary Bettman, as much as I don't like you fuckers, good job on it.